So this government has failed us. The government itself has failed us. And the white liberals who have been posing as our friends have failed us. And once we see that all these other sources to which we've turned have failed, we stop turning to them and turn to ourselves. We need a self-help program, a do-it-yourself philosophy, a do-it-right now philosophy. It's already too late philosophy. This is what you and I need to get with. And the only way we're going to solve our problem is with a self-help program. Before we can get a self-help program started, we have to have a self-help philosophy. Black nationalism is a self-help philosophy. What's so good about it, you can stay right in the church where you are and still take black nationalism as your philosophy. You can stay in any kind of civic organization that you belong to and still take black nationalism as your philosophy. You can be an atheist and still take black nationalism as your philosophy. This is a philosophy that eliminates the necessity for division and argument. Because if you're black, you should be thinking black. And if you're black and you're not thinking black at this late date, well, I'm sorry for you.
This speech was given over 60 years ago. And Malcolm came to the realization, and I'm sure he's not the first person, or I'm sure that's not the first time, but over 60 years ago, Malcolm was speaking about us being conditioned, being taught to not trust ourselves. And here we are in 2025, and we still haven't learned to trust our black selves. Before I get deep into this video, remember to like this video, comment, subscribe, and share this video. I want to make sure as many people get this information as possible. Let's run these numbers up. I'm working my butt off to get to 100,000 subscribers, and I need your help because On the Shoulders of Giants needs to grow. This needs to be a platform that's supported by the community, because in supporting On the Shoulders of Giants, you directly support the education, the empowerment, and upliftment of black children within my community. So I appreciate you all. So this idea of we can't do it ourselves is old, tired, and played out. And it's time to put that to bed and to remember who we are. That's the purpose of the history, so we can remember who we are and where we come from. But also, purpose of the history is to show us to how we got to where we are. I'm thankful for all of our black authors, our black scholars, for giving all of the information that they've given, right? Because I'm a believer in all of our scholars, our philosophers, our teachers, our leaders, past, present. They've all had a piece of the puzzle. And the piece of the puzzle was to remember. But we have to remember that piece of the puzzle. We have to put that puzzle together, right? As Malcolm was talking about, we've learned to lean on our oppressors for our deliverance. And that don't make no sense. That's one of the oxymorons that we got going on, right? Leaning on your oppressor for your liberation. Now, how much sense does that make? Trusting yourself, though, because you are the source of your liberation. You are the source of your liberation. You are the source of your freedom. You are the source of your success. And that's on any level. But let's look at this on a deep level, right? Because as Black Americans, we've learned to not trust ourselves as individuals, and we've learned to not trust ourselves as a whole, as a group. Why would I trust you when I don't trust me? Think about it. I don't trust myself. I don't trust my black self. So why would I trust you? We talk about the unity that we lack. There's a reason we lack the unity. We lack trust. We don't trust ourselves. We don't believe in ourselves. And that's sad. It's sad that it's 2025. That speech was in 1964. It's 2025. And as a whole, we still haven't learned to trust ourselves. I'm even more saddened by the ones who present themselves and pretend to trust themselves, but when it comes to all their actions, still waiting on white people to be different. Still waiting on white supremacists to be different. You don't get the game. You don't understand the game. Read Destruction of Black Civilization. It's giving us the answers. We don't understand the game. We think this is about morals and God and all this. No. They use God different. They don't even view God different. They use God different from us because they trust themselves. But as Malcolm stated, it's a mindset thing. Our minds have been rewired. Our minds have been all scrambled up to this individualistic. We have a lot of fear in our hearts. Fear is permeating our hearts, our minds, our souls, our spirits. Distrust, jealousy, animosity, all these things have permeated our souls, and we've passed it down from generation to generation to generation. They've purposely, and when I say the government, white supremacists have purposely eliminated the Black people who was waking us up, the Black people who was lighting that fire in us. They purposely eliminated those people. So we have to find a way to light that fire for ourselves. That's why I lean so hard on the code of conduct, adopting a code of conduct. Once again, I always talk about the code of conduct that Pat PC and I have, thepax.org. That link is in the description, thepax.org, right? Check out the code of conduct. Remember, in reading Destruction of Black Civilization, we learned that when these African empires deviated from their African code of conduct, internally they failed. That's when all of the negativity have arisen within them. But to even adhere to a code, you have to have a change of mindset. Even before that, you still have to have a change of mindset. And at this late stage in the game, because Malcolm said that we were late in the game in 1964. So if we were late in the game in 1964, is the game over in 2025? And if it's not, that means we're even later in the game. So now we got a decision to make. We're going to keep whining, keep crying, keep this defeated attitude. Or we going to say, F this and stand up. Learn to trust ourselves as individuals first. A lot of this fake bravado that we have, they see right through it. Remember, they created us. They engineered us into what we are. So they see all through the fake bravado. The people who they really fear, those are the ones you don't hear from. Why do you think that is? Right? If we're able to just go out and just do all this Black power stuff and just be out here doing what we're doing with no resistance, no challenge, that means we're not a threat because they understand that we're just talking. It's time for the talking to stop. Unless you want to continue with the foot on your neck. Because my philosophy is, if you're comfortable being oppressed, then don't complain, because you're wasting all of our time with your complaints. And nobody cares. Nobody's listening. Nobody has to listen. Why would anybody listen to all of that complaining when you ain't gonna do nothing about it? Trust yourself. Trust your Black self. Once we start to trust ourselves individually, we would start to trust ourselves collectively. Trust yourself. Love yourself. Honor yourself. Recognize your greatness. Think about the times in your life when you were able to overcome things that you didn't even believe you could overcome. You achieved things you didn't even believe you could achieve. Things you didn't even know existed. You had no idea these things existed, but yet here you are mastering these things. But that's that spirit in you. That's that Black spirit in you. But you have to realize that in order for you to accomplish anything in your life, you got to trust yourself. as Black folk, in order for us to accomplish anything in our lives, as a collective, we got to trust ourselves. But once again, if there's no trust on the individual level, there'll be no trust on the collective level. They've beat that out of us. It's time to get it back. What are we gonna do? This is a direct challenge to myself and the rest of my community. What are we gonna do? We gonna continue to lie down, or are we gonna stand up? I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired. I'm tired of being on the bottom. I'm not tired in the sense that I'm ready to give up, but I'm tired of being on the bottom. I'm tired of wishing, tired of complaining, tired of hoping. It's time for some realization. And realization got to start right now. Right now. Realization got to start right now. All this talking, all this manifestation, no. Come work. Like in that was a clip from the Ballad of the Bullet speech. One of the things Malcolm was talking about is you're never gonna get liberation sitting around waiting on somebody to give it to you. You got to go get it. You got to swing. You got to get active. Now, I'm not advocating for us to go out and actually physically fight white supremacy, because we're going to get whooped because we ain't ready for that. But I am saying we need to fight for our minds, fight for our spirits, fight for our souls, fight for our bodies, fight for ourselves on the individual level, fight for our trust in ourselves, our love in ourselves. Look deep inside yourself and remember who you are. You're not just here for no reason. Remember who you are. You can do whatever you want to do. You have done things that you wanted to do. Things that you wanted to do, but you may not have had the trust in yourself at one time. But when you started to trust yourself, things changed. It's a call to action. At some point, we're going to have to get up, dust ourselves off, and go back out and fight. We got our butts whooped. That's why we're in this situation, but we can't stay down. You can't stay down. The proverbial bully, the white supremacy bully, will not stop just because we want him to. What are we going to do for ourselves? I thank everybody for all the views and supports and comments and everything, when we were honoring Neely Fuller in this passing. But let's really honor Neely Fuller, like for real. Let's really honor Neely Fuller, but not just listening to what he was saying, but taking his words and acting on his words. Getting better, getting rid of the Negro mindset. Stop celebrating and stop supporting it. Disciplining ourselves, structuring ourselves. Really transforming ourselves into the best version that we can be, the best Black version that we could be. Let's really honor Neely Fuller. Let's really honor Malcolm. Let's really honor all of the ancestors that we love and we revere. We're not honoring them just by watching their lectures and debating about them and cheering about them. Take action. We got to take action. What are we going to do on a regular basis, on a daily basis, to be better as Black people? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Because the foot will not come off of our necks until we take it off of our necks. I remember being a young Black boy hearing Black men talk about the white man's foot on our neck. At some point, when I was young, I brought into it. And I get it. The white man's foot is on our neck. But how do you get somebody's foot off your damn neck? Or are you going to sit there and let them keep their foot on your neck? And if you let them keep their foot on your neck, then what does that say about you?